That was not the best way to end what has been a thrilling 2020 season, but there are still plenty of talking points after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Hello and welcome to the Pit Crew podcast. My name's Ed, this is my co-host Dylan.
Hello.
And yesterday was the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the final Grand Prix of the season in 2020, the 17th Grand Prix, and I think 17's pretty good. You know, for a season, we only started going at the start of July. We thought we weren't going to have any racing at all. So in February, we thought there was going to be no racing at all. So I'm pretty happy that we got 17 races, aren't you, Dylan?
Yeah, it's still pretty good, and the tracks were much better than the original calendar anyway.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. There have been some brilliant tracks on this calendar. You know, Turkey last month. We had Portimao, Germany, Nürburgring, Germany. We had Imola. We had names just Mugello. We had some absolutely brilliant new tracks and some brilliant races at old tracks. You know, Bahrain, that was the other layout. So Sakir, that was brilliant. Monza, that was brilliant. Silverstone 1 was brilliant. Silverstone 2, not very memorable for me. Can you remember what happened in Silverstone 2, Dylan?
Verstappen won, that's it, I think.
Yeah, I can't really remember much from Silverstone 2, but Silverstone 1 was really good. Yes, you brought me nicely onto my next point there, Dylan. Verstappen took the win in Abu Dhabi this weekend. Second win of the season, only the second win of the season. He took pole as well. Dominated the weekend. Nice. Maybe it's a inkling of what's to come in 2021. What do you think, Dylan?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Mercedes said they stopped developing their car for 2020 ages ago. So I think they're just going to come back with an even stronger 2021
excuses.
Car. It still wasn't. I think it was one of the worst races, if not the worst race of the season. Would you agree with?
Nothing happened.
Literally nothing.
Apart from Perez's engine blowing up.
There was a safety car at the start. Mercedes didn't do anything adventurous. They just covered themselves so they could get a P2 and P3. Literally, we'll get onto it later. But best moments in the race, they're gonna be difficult to choose. But anyway, first thing we need to do is compare our predictions for qualifying and the race to the result in real life for the final time this season. I predicted Hamilton to get P1, Bottas to get P3. All right, if I'm going to do it that way, that's fine. Bottas to get P3 and Verstappen to get P2, and I got nothing right. Verstappen, I'd say it's a surprise that he managed. You know, he's always fast, he's always up there, but you know, we weren't predicting him to get that fastest lap in qualifying. Hamilton down in P3. He wasn't feeling 100% this weekend after coming back from coronavirus. But yeah, it's still a surprise to see him down in P3 and Bottas in a customary P2, which for some reason I didn't predict he'd get anyway. So 0 out of 0 for me on the last one of the season. At least I'm going out how I come in. Dylan, your face pointed at me. What did you predict, Dylan?
I predicted Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, so I got 1.
Yeah,
which is better than you did.
Better than I did, as you said. Yeah, not great from either of us. I suppose we're going on how we started. Hopefully it's better next season. But yeah, I think we all thought Hamilton could get that pole, but he just wasn't feeling 100%. Wasn't able to get it. Bottas, you thought would get that P2. He did. That's the only thing you predicted that was constant. You just had to swap around, unlike me, where mine looked like the race order was put in a blender. Anyway, moving on to the race predictions. I predicted Hamilton to get the win, Bottas to get P2, and Verstappen to get P3. Now, obviously, that did not happen. I won't talk about Dylan's side of the screen. He can make excuses for his embarrassing predictions there.
Ed paid me.
No, I haven't paid him. But Verstappen got P1. He dominated the whole weekend, dominated the race. I don't think he didn't lead a single lap. I think he pitted under the safety car caused by Perez's retirement. So he literally, you know, I think he led pretty much every lap, or basically every lap, and Mercedes got that 2-3. They just played it safe, decided, let's just go safe for the last race of the season. Let's not do an adventurous strategy and try and get Bottas. They just solidified their P2 and P3. And it was a procession for the rest of the race. Not much more to say on that. I got the predictions wrong. Verstappen won. Dylan, what did you think?
I predicted Hamilton, Bottas, and Ocon. Only Ocon because I cheated in practice and thought that he was quite quick.
Yeah.
And also last weekend he seemed pretty good, getting, was it P2?
Yeah, P2 because Mercedes racing.
So I thought he might be able to get another podium, but did not work.
I think he got very lucky getting
I was way
podium last weekend, but yep, sadly that did not happen. Anyway, moving on to talking more about the race. I'm going to start with the obvious, get it out of the way. I'm no doubt we'll bang on about it more, but God, it was boring, wasn't it, Dylan?
Yeah, nothing happened. Perez retiring was the only exciting thing.
Yeah, literally, the start, I thought I was listening to some weird radio station, because always in the start, always, at least, if there's not a crash between someone and, usually there's tiers of start where the average thing is people will, front wing may go flying. Someone will go into the back of someone. Normal first lap thing, isn't it, Dylan? Just for something to go wrong, because everyone's so close together. A bit lower than that, something a bit that doesn't happen even as much as that is, literally, someone goes wide and nothing happens. That's even less rare. Literally nothing happened. The top 8 stayed the same. I think there was an overtake between Ocon and Gasly, the two French guys, and that was it. It was incredibly boring. Stop doing impressions of French people. I'm not going to tell the ladies and gentlemen what you were doing. No, it was an incredibly boring start. It was like, where's all the action gone? It was the back straight in sector 2. It's like they're coming out of all of that. The commentator said, they're coming out of the hairpin, and everyone's there, and there's no damage, no one's gone off, and you think, what? Is this Formula One? You really did. It was boring even for Abu Dhabi, wasn't it?
It was. Abu Dhabi's usually not too exciting.
Yeah,
There's not really anywhere to overtake.
Anyway, rant over. Moving on to some more positives. That Ocon and Gasly battle, let's just do best moments now, was one of the best moments of the race.
The only best moment.
What was your best moment of the race, Dylan? I think you're allowed for once to say the aftermath, like what happened after it as a result, because there are so many good things that happened after the race.
Well,
come on, it's my team. If you're not gonna mention what McLaren did, then you're biased.
Oh right.
I was hinting.
They lost. They lost
So
third.
many
I'm joking.
They got third.
I was joking.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's my home screen on my phone.
Thanks to Checo.
It's the home screen on my phone. Literally, I was so happy for them. Racing Point had an awful race. Perez's engine just went no. Sad, really, because he.
It's not his last race.
It was his last race, but I think
No.
He had enough of it in excitement. Yeah, what?
Have you seen something on YouTube? They're saying that Albon's is probably going to become the reserve driver, and Perez is going to go in.
Oh, really? Sorry, you interrupted my train of thought there. You had to shout at me. No, I haven't seen that, but I'll trust you.
It's not confirmed yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on the F1 website, but yeah, I could definitely see that happening. We were going to talk about that later, but yeah, get it out of the way now. Albon, I think could go. I mean, let's look at what Verstappen was able to do. Albon did get that P4. Not bad, not great though, was it?
No, it wasn't great.
Yeah,
but it's still good. A few more laps and he could have got Hamilton.
Yeah, a few more laps and he could have got Hamilton. I think I'm going to ask you what was your biggest disappointment in the race, but I'm going to say one thing. Do not say the race was the biggest disappointment in the race, Dylan.
I was going to say that. I was going to say Checo not finishing in his final race of the year.
Yeah, I'd say I completely agree with you there. It was incredibly, he's had his future's uncertain. He's had such a good season. P4 in the Drivers' Championship behind the top three in the sport, two of which has, they've got miles better cars. So I think that's a really incredible achievement, and it is sad to not see him cross the finish line. My biggest disappointment in the race was, Vettel's performance. Where did he come? I think P13?
14.
P13, P14. Not great for his final race for Ferrari. He sung a song on the radio. Did you hear?
Yeah, I heard it. And also, he whipped out the Heineken beer.
Oh
gave it to
yeah,
his mechanics.
he literally he gave it to all his garage stuff. No, it was it's hilarious. I will link the onboard in the iron top right hand corner of the screen of him singing this. He wrote it to the lyrics to a famous Italian song. Never heard of it myself, but apparently it's very famous. But he took off his gloves, and inside his gloves or somewhere in his suit, he'd kept a little bit of paper. And it had the lyrics on it, so it was driving around at nearly 100 miles an hour reading these little lyrics off. I thought it was the best thing I've ever seen. It was brilliant. Yeah, the Ferrari performance really was quite disappointing. Williams' performance is actually all right, but still no points. Sadly, no more opportunities for points this year. They did worse than last year, if you look at it just on points, didn't they?
Yeah,
but
they
do
didn't
you
get
really
nothing.
think they did worse than as a team, as a performance? Do you really think they did worse than last year?
Latifi, yes. Russell did a lot better.
Yeah, I think.
He got to Q2 a few times, but Latifi didn't really do anything.
Would you say they've got upward trajectory and they're going to improve more?
Hopefully,
Yeah.
But I don't know how long Latifi's going to stay.
He's got the money. I think he's going to stay a while.
That's what happened with Grosjean.
Yeah, Latifi's got the sponsorship backing, so yeah. The AlphaTauri performance wasn't great, and neither was the Renault performance. I think Daniel Ricciardo, I can't actually. It was so unmemorable from them. I think they were the low points / out of the points. Daniel Ricciardo was they were P9, P7, so a pretty lackluster performance from them as well. And the Racing Point performance, another big disappointment for me. Lance Stroll was left to fly the flag for Racing Point, try and get that P3, not let McLaren steal it, but he didn't, and he finished P10, 1 point. But McLaren even as a fan, I don't think you can. You may be a bit biased, but I don't think you can say that's a bad achievement, and they were just lucky. I think that would you agree with me in saying, Dylan, that they haven't had the third best car all season or at all?
They haven't had the third best car this season, but they're still pretty strong.
Yes, I think their drivers have just been brilliant all season, don't you?
Yeah,
Incredibly consistent.
They've been very good. Yeah.
I think Lando is one of the drivers of the year.
Yeah. 2 podiums. 3.
Right.
Second place for Sainz.
2 podiums.
Third for Lando.
Yeah, 2 podiums.
Did Sainz not get one in Austria?
No.
Let me check our previous video.
I'm pretty sure they've only got 2. They've only got 2 podiums. Yeah, they definitely have 2 podiums. You could fact check me if you want, Dylan. Some of the biggest surprises of the weekend were just Verstappen winning. I think it was certainly a surprise, wasn't it?
I don't think it was much a surprise that Verstappen won, although Mercedes definitely were probably the favourites to win. So I think it was kind of a surprise. But at the same time, I don't think it was, because he is very quick, and it's always been the same 3 people on the podium, so they switched around this time.
Yeah, I agree with you there, and I think Red Bull deserved it. They've been trying so hard all season, and to have that win really, rounded out the season quite nicely for them. That really is about it we've got to talk about from Abu Dhabi. It was really, as I've said, quite a boring race. I think our overall verdict for the race is bad. Would you say that, Dylan?
Definitely.
It's bad. It was even for Abu Dhabi standards, it was boring. The only action I can think of was the safety car, which was caused by a pretty boring accident anyway. If we're going on the accident scale, he just cut out. Nothing happened, didn't anything?
Yeah, nothing happened.
Literally nothing. He just cut out and pulled over at the side of the track. No flames or anything. Not that I'm saying I want to repeat Grosjean's accident.
Kimi.
No, not like that sort of flames, just flames when he's got out of the car and is at a safe distance and nothing will blow up. That sort of flames. Like a bonfire sort of flames. We just put a bonfire on the back of Perez's car. Yeah, it was a pretty boring race. Or like there was a couple. Alex Albon had quite a good little bit with Lewis. He came very close to Lewis Hamilton at the end. I think they finished about a second apart. So Alex did well reeling him in. As I said, his performance wasn't great in P4, but actually I've changed my mind. I think it was, especially as he reeled him in at the end. But literally, other than that, that was it. There were a couple of overtakes, really, but nothing that made any differences. And the best performance overall, in my opinion, was McLaren getting that P3. I am biased, but I'm still really happy. Anyway, I think that brings us to the end of our race report for Abu Dhabi, and it brings us to the end of our race reports for this season. You know, this is our 32nd episode of the Pit Crew podcast. We've been doing it since I think about the 7th of July. It's been
August.
5 months. I think it's fair to say we've both really enjoyed it, haven't we?
Yeah, we have enjoyed it. Definitely stay.
We're definitely going. I'm getting onto that, Dylan. Just you
We've
wait.
got some surprises as well.
We got some surprises. No, do not mention what's in the works, Dylan. You're not allowed to mention that yet. Yes, something. Don't get your hopes up, but something very exciting could be coming in January/early February. But yeah, we're not going to go away. We both really enjoyed doing it. It's given us they can't see your camera and your screen, Dylan. It's given us it's given us so much purpose over the last 5 months we've been doing it. We've really enjoyed it. We've really improved our presenting skills. I think if you listen back to the first one, we'll do it after this episode. It's going to be we'll be cringing at ourselves, our 5-month-old selves. Yeah, we've really enjoyed it, and we're not going to go away over the winter. We've got a schedule. Every week we are bringing you a video, starting with later this week. We have a full season review. Then we have a Christmas video, and then we'll just be going all the way through January.
GeoGuessr.
Yeah, we've got some GeoGuessr, F1 tracks GeoGuessr planned.
An important interview.
What?
Nothing.
What did you say?
An important interview.
I thought you said something else. Dylan, stop being awful at keeping secrets. Stop hinting.
I don't know who though.
Don't know who.
It just might be some old man.
He's just given a little bit away of what could be happening. Anyway, yeah.
We're interviewing Ed.
Yes, we'll be interviewing me, an old man. Yeah, content every week. Some different stuff over January. We'll keep you updated with all F1 news in those videos, and we'll be bringing you content about car reveals for 2021, testing content, and hopefully, if the season starts properly, content for the Australian Grand Prix in late March. We will see you pretty much every week between now and then. But for now, I've been Ed.
And I've been Dylan, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.